Hello, hello, hello. I am author and entrepreneur, the Cerebral Palsy Vigilante, Zachary Fennell. Cerebral palsy, of course, can be shortened to CP. Then again, CP could also stand for another two words, confident person. Although living with cerebral palsy will create obstacles challenging your ability to become said confident person. It's time to conquer those challenges though, as in today's video, I will discuss the attributes you will need to confidently live with cerebral palsy. Please note, I am no therapist or medical professional. Everything I mentioned today stems from my firsthand experiences with spastic hemiplegic CP. That CP standing for cerebral palsy, not confident person. Yet I am a confident person, thanks to what I learned over the years. No, I am deliberately using the word confident instead of self-esteem, and that's not just because self-esteem would void my witty play on the letter CP. While important, self-esteem alone risks becoming arrogance. To prevent that, you can factor in other people's thoughts, just cautiously, because too much reliance on what others think will leave you imprisoned to their opinions. Given these paradoxes, I did some deep reflection to identify how I developed my confidence. Getting to where I am happened over time. For example, thinking back to high school, I shied away from asking for help because I saw needing help as something which left me inferior to my peers. For another example, I never asked out my high school crush because I thought to myself, I can hardly stay on my own 2 feet. Who would want to go out with me? Regrets from high school fueled me to be outgoing in college. That outgoingness gained me experiences which helped me build confidence. The building of confidence remained under construction past college, evident by my mentality heading into my first date at 23 years old. Going into the date, whom I met through an online dating website, I thought to myself, what's wrong with this girl that she's interested in me? Some might deem what I just shared embarrassing. However, the fact I am open enough to discuss this shows the resounding confidence I possess today. Fundamental to my confidence is positive self-talk, an inner dialogue I produce through a daily set of what I call I am affirmations, a concept I first came across from the Team Fearless YouTube channel. The video teaches the two most powerful words in the English language are I am, because what comes after I am will shape your life. A focused examination of my daily I am affirmations is how I reflected to identify the attributes shaping my confidence. Analyzing everything, I identified 5 categories which feed into confidence. They are factual statements, mindset, actions, resume, and feedback. Factual statements are the start and entail stating simple facts. For instance, I am an action taker, or I am breathing. You might be watching this and discrediting yourself, saying, but Zachary, I am not an action taker. I disagree. By watching this video, you are taking action to learn about becoming a confident person. Meanwhile, saying, I am breathing may seem silly, but the phrase brings a level of gratitude, at least for me, I always smile saying I am breathing because I am reminded I am alive and I have this chance to live. Of course, life is better when you are able to share the experience. As the Team Fearless video I mentioned suggests, I listen to motivational videos. Many include speakers talking about their whys, often a spouse and or children. As someone who has been chronically single, you could start to feel alone. That's where factual statements can boost confidence. Telling yourself, I am a brother, I am a son, I am an uncle, I am a friend. Those statements provide a reminder there are people in this world who love and care for you. Now, if being alive does not supply you a sense of gratitude, or if the camaraderie of parents, siblings, nibblings, or friends fails to satisfy you, or those relationships are unhealthy ones, there might be deeper seated issues you will need to explore. Not that I'm trying to diagnose anyone. Again, I am not a mental health or medical professional. I am just trying to help you decide if my insights are right for you. If they are, you and I can move forward to the second category identified, mindset. Mindset goes beyond stating facts and determines how you will approach situations. I am affirmations I listed under mindset include I am accountable and I am ambitious. Accountability means taking responsibility for what happens in your life. Falling is a great example of this. After a fall, you can adopt a poor me mindset or say, oops, that was on me for dragging my foot, rushing my movements, or letting my concentration lapse. Then refocus and move forward. Taking accountability gives you a sense of control. With control comes confidence. Meanwhile, telling myself I am ambitious provides a needed reminder I am striving to do a lot. I have my YouTube channel here, my blog over at zacharyfennell.com, the need to exercise and stretch regularly, all while working anywhere between 32 to 40 hours a week, sometimes even 44. That list of activities is incomplete too, missing items like staying present on social media, preparing for public appearances or events, and continuous book marketing efforts. With so much to do, there will always be something left undone. I could dwell on what is undone and feel defeated. Defeat sabotages your ability to feel confident, though. Reminding myself I am ambitious gives me the chance to put the defeats into perspective and acknowledge what I have done, leaving me feeling good about myself, growing my confidence. To grow your confidence even further, let's discuss the next attribute I identified for becoming a confident person. Actions. In my I am affirmations, actions show in affirmations like I am exercising, I am fit, I am taking life one step at a time. I am exercising is self-explanatory. The action is my exercise. By exercising regularly, I am better able to manage my CP. To name a few specifics, keeping my hamstrings loose, maintaining range of motion in my legs, and strengthening my core. Through these benefits of exercise, my potential grows. Increasing potential sounds like a reason to be confident. This segues perfectly to I am fit. I think of myself as fit because of the long distances I walk, whether the 2+ mile walk home from work I do on select work days or the 5Ks and other races I participate in. The longest distance I've completed is marathons, walking the 26.2 miles of the Towpath Marathon in both 2017 and 2018. The marathons would not have been possible without first getting my body back in check with that prior action exercise. Back in 2014, circumstances led me to a point where I had not done any of my exercise routines for over 100 days. I found myself using my arm to help lift my right leg in and out of the car and shower because my range of motion wasn't there. I found myself massaging my knee because I was experiencing a new knotted pain. Sitting down to write content became difficult because my hamstrings were so tight that tightness easily distracted me. This downward spiral finally ended when I grew frustrated enough that one afternoon I lowered myself from my desk chair to the floor and positioned myself to do my hands and knees exercise routine. After that, I made sure to come back a few days later and complete another of my exercise routines. Then again, a few days later. Embodying what taking life one step at a time looks like. Each exercise session was a step to improve my physical well-being. The improvements led me to be better able to function daily. That left me feeling better, more confident. Here, the action of one step at a time gradually leads to the next attribute, which boosts confidence. Resume. Notice I said boost there. Resume in the next category, feedback, will enhance confidence, but you do not need them to establish confidence. Between factual statements, mindset, and actions, you are already there. The latter, actions, done consistently, naturally builds a resume. Once I had improved my physical well-being, my next step was signing up for races. Initially, I had no idea where to do that, but then a friend gave me a website to look into. Soon I went from unsure where to sign up for races to a 5K novice to an experienced 5K participant to a half marathoner and onward until I could say, I am a 2-time marathoner. Of course, your ambitions will likely not involve a marathon, yet the same principle applies. Perhaps you want to publish a book or become a public speaker. For publishing a book, your step-by-step actions include writing a certain number of words or writing for a certain amount of time in a day. Then reading books on publishing and learning about self-publishing versus traditional publishing and what would work for you. For public speaking, steps might include brainstorming and developing your message, then reaching out to places you have connections to already, like a former school, and asking if they would be interested in having you speak. Even if there's no paycheck involved, simply get yourself the experience and record said experience so you can begin putting together a reel of your speaking. Over time, you will be able to say, I am an author, I am a public speaker, and that will feel good. Continuing to elevate CP to mean both cerebral palsy and confident person. Along the way, you will start receiving feedback from others. Some of the feedback I received, which I implement into my I am affirmations, are I am approachable, I am stylish, I am funny. The first time I remember being called approachable came while putting together a newsletter for a place I volunteered at. I had made a change which left someone going to the main staff person I worked with to ask why I had made the change. The staff member later told me she recommended the person ask me directly because I am approachable. My approachability has also been noticed by customers in my Clark Kent job as a branch services clerk at Cuyahoga County Public Library. One aspect of my position is being a passport acceptance agent, a detail-oriented process involving a lot of information. Multiple applicants have thanked me for helping to make the process less painful. One father even asked if I used to be a teacher or a coach. He was curious because he found me approachable and talented at explaining details. At this point, let me echo the caution I expressed at the beginning of the video regarding other people's opinions. That being too much reliance on what others think will leave you imprisoned to their opinions. This danger exists in the feedback I receive about my style. A friend at work inspired me to step up my style. After a while, I gained a reputation for wearing fun and colorful shirts such as this. I commonly hear people say, "I like your shirt." Simultaneously, though, I also receive the occasional off-putting remark, a comment like, "So, when you got dressed today, did you ask yourself what you could wear which would call the most attention to you?" I laughed off this initial comment, but then the customer doubled down. "But seriously, did you ask yourself what you could wear which would call the most attention to you?" I could have let such a comment impact me and go back to a muted fashion sense. Instead, I simply responded, "I dress with one person in mind, myself." I share this exchange to remind you while others people's feedback is important to avoid growing arrogant, you should not let one or two people's comments damage your confidence. Although you might be watching this thinking, "No one pays me compliments anyway," and perhaps you do not receive direct compliments. However, if you examine your interactions, you should identify implied compliments. Do people laugh at your jokes? Then you are funny. That's where my "I am funny" affirmation comes from. Not someone saying, "You are funny, Zachary," but rather the laughs I create at work or when out with friends. Maybe somebody always comes to you with questions or concerns. That means they value your insights, implying you are valuable to them. Or a family member is consistently asking about how you are and or making suggestions for what to do. While potentially annoying, that implies you are cared for and loved. Now I could go on, but this video is already long enough. Hopefully though, at least one tidbit I shared resonated with you, leaving you a little more confident compared to when you started watching. Whether that be through factual statements, mindset, actions, your resume, or feedback. Tell me in the comments what resonated with you. Also, feel free to share your tips for building confidence. While commenting, imply you liked this video by clicking the thumbs up icon. To ensure you receive notifications every time I publish a new video, make sure you are subscribed and select all from the bell icon list. To learn more about the life experiences which helped to shape the confident person I am today, check out my memoirs, Off Balance and Slow and Cerebral. Off Balance focuses on my teenage years, while Slow and Cerebral details my journey to accomplish the unreasonable and become a marathoner. See the video's description for links to the books. Until next time, remember, don't blend in, blend out.